Hello, students of class 9, children. So, our second session or the second term of this year has already started. As soon as you complete your half yearly examination, we move on to the next term. And in this term, children, we are having two chapters only. One is climate, the other one is natural vegetation. Now, this climate chapter is quite a huge one, and if you understand it, children, this is the easiest chapter of your whole syllabus. But if without understanding, if you start memorizing the points, you will find it to be the most difficult chapter. So, children, from the very beginning, you have to be very alert and go through this chapter as I am going through it, because I will tell you many things which is not given in your book, extra things which is not given in your book. So, first we will start with the basics of this chapter. Now, your chapter starts with a simple introduction in your book that throughout the year, children, you enjoy different kinds of seasons. In some part of the year, we enjoy sitting under the fan and wearing light clothes, whereas at certain time of the year, we have to wear woolen clothes. Similarly, you will find that there are different flowers blooming during different seasons, or you will find that the trees are dropping their leaves, again the new leaves are coming up. So throughout the year, children, we have 12 months and 6 seasons, and condition during this season does not remain the same. We have the spring season, then comes the summer, then the rainy, and now the current, that is the autumn season, and then comes the winter season. So in this way, children, throughout the year, covering 2 months, 3 months, we are having different types of seasons, and there are different conditions that prevail during these seasons. But still, children, you will find that there are two most commonly used terms when we want to convey the meaning or the conditions that are enjoyed during the season. The most commonly used term is weather. The other one is climate. Now, you will never find that the people in the TV or in the radio is going through the climate report. Rather, they go through the weather report, or daily we are having the weather forecast. So, weather forecast is a much commonly used term rather than the climate. So you will never find people saying आज का climate कैसा है, but you will find people saying आज का weather कैसा है, weather तो बहुत अच्छा है आज. So in this way, children, we will find that these two terms are used and they have some amount of difference. But theoretically, when we go to measure them, both this term measures the same items. Now, let us see what is being measured in the weather and what is being measured in the climate, and where lies the difference between weather and climate. So, today, children, first we will do these elements of weather and climate. Whatever is measured in taking the weather of a place or forecasting the weather of a place is known as elements of weather. and the same items are measured in climate also, and so together we call it elements of weather and climate. So first children, let us study the elements of weather and climate and what are they. Now children, first let me tell you about the elements of weather and climate, and then I will go to the definition of weather and climate. Now, how do we know the weather of a place or the climate of a place? To know the weather of a place, we have to study the following things. One is the temperature. We have to record the temperature, the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature. Then rainfall or snowfall. Apart from that children, there can be other also elements, like for example sometimes there is hail or sometimes there is sleet. So in this way, in the foreign countries children, hail and sleet it occurs. Hail also occurs in our country. So this entire thing, this rainfall, snowfall, hail and sleet, together it can be termed as precipitation. So because in our country this rainfall is more, so we generally say rainfall, but in Jammu Kashmir there is snowfall. So in this way children, the amount of rainfall that is occurring at any place. The third one parameter is humidity, which is measured. Then cloud cover, how much cloud is there. Sometimes you will find dense cloud over a certain area. Sometimes you will find it is bright and shiny and the cloud cover is very less. Then the wind speed. We all know children that wind blows. So when we find the wind blowing children, the wind blows at a certain speed. So that speed is recorded. The direction of the wind is also recorded, and there are different instruments. And last but not the least, that is the air pressure. So air pressure is the pressure that is exerted by the huge volume of air that surrounds us, and it is above us also. We have a huge volume of air. You must have studied in your previous classes about the different layers of atmosphere, like troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere. All this you have studied before in your junior classes. So this entire layer of air that is above us, that exerts pressure on us, that is known as air pressure. We have different instruments to measure all this temperature. Like for example, we have 6's maximum and minimum thermometer for measuring temperature. For measuring rainfall, of course, we have this rain gauge. It's rain gauge. For measuring rainfall, we have rain gauge. Similarly, there are other instruments like air pressure is measured by anemometer, humidity is measured by the hygrometer, wind speed, wind direction is measured by of course the wind vane, and there is also instruments to record the wind speed. So there are different instruments which are measured and used by the weather department, the meteorological department of our country. They utilize different instruments and they take the measurement of all these different elements, and every day the measurement is taken and every day it is recorded, and so you will find that every day we get the weather report. Now let us come to the actual definition of weather and climate and what is the difference between these two terms, weather and climate. Now children, you know what we measure when we talk about the weather of any place, we have to measure all these items, and then only we can forecast the weather of any place. So what is weather and what is climate? Now, in case of weather and in case of climate, we study about the atmosphere, the condition of atmosphere. Now, see children, atmosphere is surrounding us, it is above us, it is behind us, it is beside us. It in fact like covers us. So both this term, weather and climate, it's used to measure or study the condition of the atmosphere, the condition of the envelope of air that is around us. And to study the condition of air around us, we take the help of these elements that we have just seen, that is temperature, rainfall or precipitation, then our humidity, cloud cover, our wind speed, wind direction, and the air pressure. Now, in case of weather we study all this, in case of climate also we study all this, but weather is the fluctuating condition of atmosphere. Fluctuating means it changes very frequently. It changes within a short duration of time. Sometimes you will find that in the morning it is sunny, and by the time it is 12 o'clock it has started raining. Or suppose you are in your school in Gola Road, there it is totally dry, there is no sign of rain, but you have reached our Gola Road more, and you will find that it is totally wet there and raining has already occurred there. So this fluctuation can be seen within a very small duration of time and within a very less area, that is within a few kilometers itself you can see this change, this fluctuation. So the fluctuating condition of atmosphere is related to weather. It can change within a very less duration of time and within a very small area. That's why you will also find that in weather forecast they will also try to predict the maximum and minimum temperature, because the maximum temperature is recorded every day at 3 p.m. because by 3 p.m. the air is totally heated up, and the minimum temperature is always recorded at 4 o'clock in the early morning, because at 4 a.m. children, the air is coolest. If you go out at 4 a.m. in the morning for a morning walk or a jog, you will find at that time the air is coolest, especially during the summer season. 4 a.m. is the coolest time of the day. So sometimes in the assembly you are reading out this maximum temperature and minimum temperature. That is just a prediction, assumption, but in reality children, the maximum temperature is always taken at 3 p.m. and the minimum temperature is taken at 4 a.m. in the morning. Similarly children, rainfall is measured, our cloud cover is measured, our depth of snowfall is measured, and we have a host of instruments for all this. This humidity is measured by hygroscope, this anemometer measures the atmospheric pressure. All those things, all these different elements of weather and climate are very, very important elements children for studying the weather conditions of any place, and daily, every day, this measurement is taken and the record is maintained by the weather department. Now the question comes, What is climate then? See children, climate also deals with the same elements as weather because both of them are related to the study of the air that is enveloping us, that is surrounding us. But in case of climate, it is the average condition of the atmosphere. What I had said before in weather, it was the fluctuating condition of the atmosphere, but in case of uh, climate, it is the average condition of the atmosphere. So daily the measurements are recorded and this average is reached, and after the average is taken, then a certain name is given to the climate of that particular place. Now, for how long this record is maintained? Previously, it was a period which was very, very long, that was 30 years. But nowadays, we see there is so much changes in the world climate, like there is global warming, there is ozone layer depletion, there is pollution all around, and the entire world climate is also controlled by this man-made factors. As a result, this 30 years is not maintained at present, it is simply 10 years. Suppose suddenly, like it was observed in at one place in Iran or Iraq, I am just missing the name of the country, where it started suddenly, there was snowfall, and snowfall never occurred there before. So now what they will have to do, the weather department there, the meteorological department there, will have to take the conditions, the elements of weather very much minutely, and each day the measurement is taken. But now for 10 years they will observe if the same condition is there for continuously 10 years, or during a certain period of the year the same condition is there for a period of 10 years, then the climate type that was there, or which was named there before, will be changed and a new name will be given to the climate type. So for naming any area of climate or enjoying certain climate, the observation has to be made for a minimum of 10 years. Previously it was 30 years. Now it is 10 years. So it is the average condition of the entire state of atmosphere. Weather was the fluctuating condition and climate is the average condition of the atmosphere, and it covers a very large area. Sometimes it will cover several countries together, sometimes it will cover a large area of a country, or sometimes a part of a country, but obviously it will cover a huge area covering hundreds of kilometers. In case of weather, I told you it covers only a very less area, just few kilometers, and it will change within some hours. But climate will not fluctuate so commonly, and it will be recorded, it will be observed for a period of 10 years, it will be observed, averaging will be done, and then only we can assign a certain name to the climate of a place. So the entire world, children, is divided into different climatic zones. Our country, India, comes under the monsoon climate. So this monsoon is an Arabic word which has been derived from the word Mausam, and this means season. Now these Arabians used to be traders who used to come to India, and they used to find that at certain time of the year when they used to come, the coming was easy, and in some parts of the year when they used to go back, the going back was easy because of the winds blowing during that particular time of the year. So they called it Mausam or season, and it means the seasonal reversal of wind direction. That is, the coming of the wind, and reversal means the going back of the wind. So today, children, we have just done the introductory part of the chapter where we studied what does weather means, what does climate means, what are the elements of weather and climate, the different instruments that are used to measure the weather and climate, different elements of weather and climate, and I told you about the climate, the term monsoon given by the Arabian traders, and it means the seasonal reversal of wind direction. Okay, children, I hope you have followed this much. I have done a very little portion of your chapter, just half of one page. Just go through the video repeatedly if you fail to understand, and read the paragraphs very well. Just half of. So thank you, children. Have a nice day. I hope you will understand everything in a better. And we will meet soon, and then we will discuss all the issues related to your chapters very well. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.